Hey folks, it's Jeff. This is lesson number 3 for Elite Traffic and Training. And this lesson we are calling the skills. And as we get started, let's hit a quick review over the last 2 lessons. If any of this doesn't sound familiar, you can go back and you can catch the lessons that maybe you've missed. Our first lesson dealt with mindset. And it fell into the mindsets that the folks that we have seen be the most successful with our traffic. How they plan, how they follow up, how they build a menu, and how they have a mindset to command traffic. And the skills we're going to talk about today fall into place and fit in with how they've set their mindset. In lesson number 2, we talked about the 3 different kinds of traffic. How you can buy, rent, and own traffic. And how with those traffic sources, we work closely with our clients and our traffic clients on how to build 3 different types of lists: an email list, a social presence list, and a text messaging list. And how by using those 3 kinds of traffic with those 3 type of lists over ideally about a 9-month period of time, how you can build a significant command of traffic. So that's the quick review. Let's get to the talk about today's lesson, which is the skills. And the skills we're going to talk about today deal with how you develop your relationship with your lists that come from the traffic that you command. And again, this comes back to the idea that you're following along with a successful mindset and a successful approach to traffic. And that you understand that you've got to command traffic, that you need to have a traffic plan, that you've got to have a follow-up mindset, and that you've got to be prepared to build a menu of products that you're going to develop, that you're going to offer to your lists as you become more and more accustomed to what your lists are looking for. So there are 3 simple skills. The first skill is developing a platform. The second skill is developing a voice, and the third skill is telling your story. When you develop a platform is nothing more than a way in which you're going to communicate with the folks who are on your list. That can either be through a written form, with like emails and blog posts or long form posts on like a Facebook group. That can be in an audio form where you're recording your voice and just giving an audio file for people to listen to what you have to say. Or it can be a video, similar to what I'm doing here, where you're doing something similar to like a PowerPoint presentation, you're speaking to folks. That platform that you choose is going to really be kind of a personal decision for yourself. It's going to really be what you're most comfortable in and how you feel you're going to be most effective. When we coach traffic partners, we recommend that they become very comfortable in at least 2 of these platforms. For myself, I've chosen written and video. That's just the ones I'm most comfortable with, and those are the platforms that I feel are most effective for myself. There are others who just choose audio. We've got other members who just choose written. But for each of those platforms, especially for new folks starting out, we work closely with them to help them refine their skills in each of those different platforms. We'll have them send us stuff and we'll kind of review it, we'll edit it, we'll give them suggestions and tips on ways to either make it a little better, or we just review it and we help them get better at each of those platforms. So that's a service we offer, and that's a kind of a little free bit of coaching for our monthly traffic partners. The next skill is to develop your voice. And one of the things to understand when you're first starting out, you're just starting to build your list and you're just building your platform. At first, you're not going to have a lot of people. Not a lot of people are going to be listening, okay? And that's just the start of anything. Your list may be smaller. Your list may just be growing. Your voice will not be heard by many, but it's a chance to practice. It's a chance to get better and to get more comfortable with your communication skills. And as you continue to develop and as your voice is heard by more and more people, you're going to get better at presenting from your platform, either through the written word, the audio, or through the video. It will grow. One thing we tell all our traffic partners, and one of the key points from today's lesson I really want you to take from this lesson: do not secede your voice. We see so many people who come in and they want to buy traffic from us, and they're in whatever program, and all they want to do is market the traffic to someone else's video sales letter or someone else's presentation. They don't want to develop a voice of their own. And the problem that gets to be is that if all you do is just use someone else's voice to market with, you never develop your own voice. And the folks who come on your list, they don't know you. They don't develop a relationship with you. They don't become connected to you and your story. And so don't secede your voice. Don't rely on someone else's video sales letter to be the only thing that your list becomes familiar with. Because what happens is your list becomes familiar with and connected to whoever's doing that video sales letter or that presentation. They don't develop a connection with you. You want them to develop a connection with you. So that's why it's important to have your platform and your voice. And we have got tips and tricks and ways to help you with each of these skills. The next is your story. And we tell folks when it comes to your story, it's very, very simple. Be authentic, be honest, and be consistent. It's okay to tell people you're just starting out. Because guess what? You're going to appeal to a lot of people who are just starting out. It's okay to tell them, hey, I went out and I got 2 signups today. That's fantastic success testimonial. You want to be authentic and you want to be honest. If you had a bad day, it's okay to tell your group, you know what, we had a bad day. About a week ago, I had a bad day. We ran some traffic to some offer stuff. It didn't convert. We spent $400 on traffic, got literally nothing out of it. Come to find out, I had set up the sales page wrong, and I'd screwed it up. The folks I was telling about the list, told my list before I did it, telling them, hey, I got a new thing we're running, excited to tell you about the results. Well, when it came around to tell them about the results, I had to tell them that I'd failed, and that I'd blown it, and that I'd goofed up. The lesson was, be sure to check your funnel before you launch everything. I didn't do it. So be authentic, be honest, and be consistent. Be consistent with your message and be consistent with your timing. If you want to put out content every Monday and Thursday or every day or whatever, just make sure that as you set up a schedule, people know what to expect and when to expect it from you, and then be consistent. Like I said in the last slide, not a lot of folks at first are going to be listening, but it will grow. As your list grows, as your presence grows, as your platform grows, if you're consistent, you're going to see your voice grow. And you've got to be sure not to secede your voice. So let's do a quick recap here. There are 3 simple skills. You want to develop your platform, you want to develop your voice, and you want to tell your story. And if you do those 3 things, and we've got training and we've got resources to help you do all of them, you're going to find that your story becomes one of being very successful, one of being very encouraging, and being one of which you're going to find a lot of people are going to want to have the same story. Hey folks, as always, I appreciate you folks listening to these lessons. The next lesson is going to touch on and talk about the tools that you need so you can make all this work. We've talked about the mindset. We've talked about the types of traffic. We've talked about the skills. Now we're going to wrap it up and talk about the tools that you need so you can make all this work for your business. Hey, thanks again, folks. If you've got questions, you'd like to leave a comment, please comment below. Thank you. Bye.